Hi, my name is Paul Anderson and I'm CEO of the Sales Pro Learning Development Company. And I want to share with you some insight when it comes to motivation, when it comes to your ability to keep focused on your end goal. Selling, as we know, is, well, actually in my mind, one of the most powerful professions on the planet today, if not the most powerful one. Everybody is selling, regardless of whether you're president of a country or whether you're sweeping the floor somewhere. You're selling, you're creating an experience for somebody else with your interaction. And ultimately, that's what selling is all about. It's all about how you're making people feel and how you're focusing on them that attracts them back to you. That's the platform of sales, because it establishes trust and, more importantly, it starts to build rapport. So those are elements, together with all the techniques and all the skills, that help us to be more effective in all of our communication. But what happens when that communication doesn't work? What happens when you get that client that says, yeah, I'm going to give you a call back, and you're 100% sure in your mind that they're going to call you back, and then you never hear from them again? What happens when you do 2 years worth of work and then the person you're working with decides to leave the company and somebody else starts, and you've got to start developing a new relationship with them? What happens when you haven't met sales goals for a few months and you've still got to keep moving forward? You've got to get up in the morning, start pushing yourself out. What happens in all those situations is you start to deflate. You start to go and focus on all of the bad things that are happening rather than the good things that could be happening. And so what I want to do is share with you an acronym that's going to give you the ability to change your world. If you apply what I'm about to share with you, you will absolutely keep yourself in a mindset that is giving you the ability to keep progressing forward regardless of what's happening. Because remember, it's not about what's happening now, it's about how you're responding to what's happening now. And your ability to respond positively and focus on the positive is going to get you through any situation. It doesn't matter. That's what selling is. It's about resilience, your ability to be resilient when things aren't always going well. Think about the times when things have gone well, how amazing you feel. That's what you want to focus on. So think about dream. Dream yourself to success. Change your world tomorrow. Before I get into this dream acronym, let's think about a thought process that you may want to start to consider. And that is 3 elements. Number 1 is like, who was I yesterday? Who am I today? And who do I choose to be tomorrow? Who were you yesterday? Who was that person? Where was your mindset? Where was your attitude? Was it positive? Was it negative? Was it influenced by somebody else? Who do you choose to be today? You should choose to be the real you. There's nothing more powerful than the authentic you. And so focusing on you is absolutely a critical element towards you remaining consistently progressing forward and resilient to everything that's going to come towards you. So focus on your attributes. And then who do you choose to be tomorrow? Let's choose to be a better version of who we are today. There are so few people that want to focus on that if you start focusing on that, you're going to immediately set yourself apart from everybody else. So now let's get into the acronym DREAM. DREAM stands for a structure that gives you the ability to keep focused and aligned in towards the trajectory that you want to go towards achieving your goals. And it starts with D. D is all about define your thinking. Who is it that's in your head? Is it somebody else from the past? Is it from something that happened a year ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago? Is it something that you read? What's influencing your thought process? Start and think about what it is that you're thinking about. Are you defining your own thinking, or are you influenced by what somebody else is saying? Take yourself out of the equation and realign and bring yourself back into one thought process of your own thought process. Redefine your thinking so that you're moving yourself forward, and write down what it is that is influencing your thoughts today. You want to be positively influenced, not negatively. Turn that radio off. Take the newspaper out if you have an old newspaper, or if you're reading something online on a tablet, take that and dump it for a minute and focus on your goal. Your mind is going to be attracted to what you're focusing on. If you start focusing on things that are negative, you're going to be pulled towards the negative. So define your thinking, redefine your thinking, and move yourself to a different trajectory. That's the D. What's the R? Realize your value. I can't tell you how many people I coach where they have no understanding of their true value. They've not looked and taken account for who they are based on all the success they've had in the past. No matter how small or how big, you need to start focusing on all the things that have made you a valuable person. And there will absolutely be valuable elements that you wouldn't have considered. So realizing your value by focusing on your successes. Take yourself back to that mindset and your physiology will change. When you start thinking about success you've had, no matter how small, you're going to start to change all of the endorphin, all of the blood flow, everything in your body to be able to get yourself physically more aligned towards thinking, yeah, I am a valuable person. I do have this that I've done in the past and I want to achieve that in the future. And think about what happens if you don't achieve it in the future. That will actually pull you forward too. So realize your true value of who you are. Remember, you are the original. You are absolutely a one-off. Take advantage of that one-off and start to move yourself forward based on yourself. There is no other that is going to give you more power. So realizing your value is critical. Energizing your spirit, that's the E. Now, energizing your spirit is going to naturally happen when you start to define your thinking and you start to realize your value. You're going to naturally be more energetic because your physiology changes when you start to think differently. So energizing your spirit by taking action. Don't think about it anymore. Don't ponder about whatever you're thinking about. And more importantly, don't procrastinate anymore. Energize your spirit so that you get to yourself into a mindset and then into a physical state where you're moving forward. When you physically start to move forward and take action, everything changes. Too many people are dreaming and not moving forward. So energize your spirit by defining your thinking, realizing your value, and you'll naturally want to take action that energizes your spirit. And then accentuate the positive, that's the A. Accentuate the positive elements that you bring to the table. Start to grow them. Take, motivational courses, read elements that are going to help to give you even more ability of pushing that skill set up and pushing that value up. So you start to accentuate more of who you are. What you're thinking and what other people are thinking might be two different things. You might be aware of exactly what your value is and you're not accentuating it. But you've got to start accentuating the positive and moving towards it because that affects your brain again. When you start affecting your brain positively, you start to move yourself forward and every day you get up, you feel better. You feel alive. You don't feel sick anymore. You don't feel unwell anymore because you're changing your computer. You're accentuating those elements that you focused on. And when you accentuate the elements you focus on, you absolutely will change your life. And that's what we want you to do. We want to change your life to the positive, where you're progressing forward, not focusing on the past and falling back. It's all about movement, momentum. Let's get you moving forward by momentum through all of these elements that we've just discussed. So absolutely accentuating the positive and getting a better understanding of how to through growing yourself, books that you can read, like stuff that you can take from Audible and actually download so that while you're in the car you can actually be listening to stuff, going onto YouTube and doing TED Talks, all of those elements, looking and partnering with some of the people that are being really successful in the world today in your career now. Perhaps there's other people that are doing really well and you want to sort of take some counsel from them, but start to focus on those elements and accentuating the positive elements in you. And the M is the final thing. When you do all of those things, when you define your thinking, when you realize your value, when you energize your spirit, when you accentuate the positive, you are going to start moving yourself forward. Constantly move yourself forward. Keep progressing, keep moving, keep progressing, keep moving so that you start to progress yourself towards the goal that you know is there. Write it out. Make it clear. Make sure that you've got a time on it so that you've got a sort of situation where you're focusing on a time that you want to make sure that you've accomplished this before that time comes up, because that will absolutely start to give you some focus as well. So make sure it's realistic, all of those elements that come into sort of setting goals, but make sure that you're moving yourself forward. Constantly, am I moving forward? Am I moving forward? Every single day. Am I faster today, or am I further today than I was yesterday? When you start to change all of those things, we start to incorporate these things into your life, you will change your life in an extremely positive way. Move yourself forward. Change your life to where you know you can be and start achieving the financial, the professional growth and the financial growth that's going to give you the ability to start moving yourself towards dreaming towards the life and taking action towards the life that is where you know you want to be. Give me the ability through what I've just shared to change your world through all of the education, the experience and the downfalls that I've had in my world that are reinforcing that if you focus on this, you'll change your world tomorrow. Make it happen.